Hello everyone, this is Jason from Prime Time Aquatics. Thank you so much for being here in today's video. This fish tank has inspired the topic, and that is the top 5 best schooling fish for freshwater aquariums. Hope you enjoyed the video. Appreciate you being here. All right, let's get into it. Coming in at number 5, we have the Rummy Nose Tetra. This is a great fish, and it is going to school relatively tightly. You can see here they are beautiful. They've got that red face and that black and white striped tail. Absolutely awesome fish. The nice thing is they are on the smaller side, so at least if you've got a 20-gallon aquarium, you're probably going to be in pretty good shape here. With this fish and all the ones we mentioned, the more you can keep, the better schooling behavior you're going to see. This was a tank from Aquashella. There were dozens of Rummy Nose Tetras in this aquarium, and it really made this tank pop. Please keep in mind, as we're going through this list, these are fish that I feel school the tightest. They might not be the most popular of the tetras or schooling fish. By the way, if you want to see another list, Joanna on the Smallscape is going to come up with her list. That video will be out on Wednesday. When it comes out, I will put that in the upper right-hand corner, as well as in the description below. She's going to have some really good ones as well. If there's a downside to this particular fish, it's that sometimes it doesn't appreciate water with a higher pH and higher water hardness. Also, out of the fish that we're mentioning here, this might be the one that is most prone to ick. So you're definitely going to want to quarantine these fish. I mean, you want to quarantine all of your fish, but this one in particular. And like I said, if you want more information on any of the fish that we feature in this video, check out the description below. We'll have all the species profiles for you down there if you want to learn more. Coming in at number 4, I don't know how we can leave these off a list, and that is the Congo Tetra. Look at them schooling right here. This is an awesome, awesome fish, full of color. Now, this is probably going to be the largest fish on our list today. They're going to max out right around 3.5 inches or so. You're looking at pretty much all males in this aquarium. That's why you see the really great color and the awesome fins. The females show a little bit less color. The fins aren't quite so long, but in either case, you've got a fish that loves to hang out with one another, and that's what makes it so beautiful. This is a relatively peaceful fish, but I would want a slightly larger tank than maybe with the Rummy Nose Tetras or some of the other fish that we talk about in this video. These fish, I believe, were in a 70-gallon. This was a tour I did of Melanie Holmes' fish room. I'll put that in the upper right-hand corner. Well worth checking out. But this is an outstanding fish. The males can be a little bit rough on one another from time to time, and they can be a little bit rough on the females. Every once in a while, you can see one of the females there on the left-hand side. But again, if you've got at least a 4-foot tank, or even a 40 breeder might work, but a 4-foot tank like a 55-gallon might be an even better option for these fish. Give them a little bit of space. They are a fairly active fish as well, so keep that in mind when you're planning out your aquascape, when you're planning out how you want to set up your aquarium. Now, this next one I absolutely love. It's the glass cat, and I think it's a fish that gets overlooked so often. This is in our 125. The glass cats are over there on the right-hand side. They absolutely love to stay together. If you're going to keep glass cats, I highly recommend keep them in a large group. Now, this is a fish that can tend to be a little bit skittish sometimes, so you want to have other fish out there to make them feel comfortable. No sudden movements around the tank. Again, big groups. If you can do 10 or 12 and at least a 40-gallon would probably be my recommendation, just because they do get a little bit on the longer side, somewhere around 3.5 inches or so. But this can be a very hardy fish. Really cool. You don't see them as much in the hobby anymore, but if you get them, you're going to be very rewarded with this really nice looking fish. All right, number 2. This is one, they were in a 40 breeder in a quarantine tank, the Silver Tip Tetra. This is a fish when kept in really large groups, schools like no other fish I have seen. They actually do almost that Finding Nemo kind of swirling motion that you'll see sometimes, but this is a fish that can school very tightly. Now, the cool thing about this little guy is the males and females look slightly different. The males are the ones that have that deeper color. The females stay a little bit more silver. The tips of their tails is where they get the name, and it is awesome. You got to keep these fish in a big group to really appreciate what they look like in an aquarium. They're not the most colorful fish on this list. In fact, I would venture to say, other than the glass cat, they're the least colorful until you get them in a group where you can really appreciate their behavior and really appreciate what they can do for an aquarium. Again, when you've got a group of 12, 15, or 20 of these, in a, let's say, 40-gallon tank, it's striking. Now, you can keep these fish in smaller tanks. Easily a 20-gallon is going to be fine for a group of 6 to 10, let's say. They're a somewhat active fish, I would say, in terms of hardiness. They're probably a step above the rummy nose tetra, but maybe not quite as hardy as the other fish that we're featuring in this video. Number one for me, this is one it's a relatively common fish, but for me, it schools the tightest, and that is the brilliant green rasbora, sometimes known as just the green rasbora. This is a great looking fish. You see that nice green fluorescent stripe with the black stripe across the body, the red by the tail region. It is absolutely striking. Of all the fish I have kept pretty much in my life, these are the ones that school the tightest, and I absolutely love that about this fish. Brilliant green rasbora is a perfect fit for a 20-gallon. Here, they were in a 29-gallon planted tank, and they fit in really well. They tend to be a very outgoing fish, and so it's a fish that will bring out some of your more shy fish. Again, keep them in a group. If you've got a 20-gallon, easily 8 to 10 would be where I would start. Larger tanks, even better. We've had these fish in tanks as large as 55 gallons in groups of 25 or more. Very striking. You're getting that green color mixed in with the red. Extremely peaceful fish. As all the fish that we're mentioning here, these are all fish that for the most part can go in a community aquarium, and so they're going to leave other fish alone. You can see here they don't pick on one another. They're not chasing each other around, so that's a really cool feature of this fish as well. But I can't say enough about the brilliant green rasbora, and the nice thing is, of all the fish we talk about in this video, this might be the least expensive. Usually you can pick these up anywhere from around $2 to $4 per fish. Really awesome. I'm going to give an honorable mention here, and that's the snakeskin barb. I know I had a top 5, but I just wanted to give you one more to consider. This is in the same tank as the glass cats. I absolutely love this fish. It is probably my favorite barb, which is saying a lot because there's a lot of really cool barbs. And what I love about this fish is, first, check out the color. I mean, I know tiger barbs are popular, but for me, I would take the snakeskin barb for a lot of reasons. One, they do school relatively tightly. You're going to see them following each other along. The color is outstanding. They don't act like normal barbs in the sense that they are relatively peaceful. They don't fin nip one another. They leave other fish alone. They are a somewhat active fish, but not nearly as active as other barbs that you're going to find in the aquarium hobby. They're pretty much maxed out here in this 125, right around 2.5 inches or so. Both the males and the females show great color as well. So this is a fish I would highly consider if you're looking for something different. And I love when they go in and out of the aquarium, the plants and the wood. They really blend. So that was my top 5. Again, check out Joanna's video. When that comes out, you'll get a different top 5 for the best schooling fish. Want to hear from you? What's your favorite? Thanks for being here.